Backstage with Mothership on Solid Rock Radio begins now. Hear the best in new music, artist interviews, stories from the road, and more. You are now backstage, and here's your host, Mothership.
Hey, everybody. Whenever our friends, the Protests, do something new, it's time to check in with them. So here's a little interview I did just before we left for Loud and Proud.
What's up?
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Let's jump right into this thing. There's been some huge things going on with the protests.
Yeah.
I read on Facebook you guys have been together for 15 years. How is that even possible? You're too young.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, Jared and I started playing music together. Well, really, TJ, Jared and I started playing music together 20 years ago. When Jared was in 6th grade, So we had this little band, and we were terrible. And then we played in the science room at the middle school for our first gig. Stared at the floor the whole time because we were too nervous. Didn't have a vocalist, really. It was a very odd deal, but I don't know. We just really loved it, and we just kept going. Sarge, at that time, Sarge was teaching me how to play guitar. He wasn't in the band. He was just a cool upperclassman that I thought was awesome, and he was teaching me how to play. Sarge graduated. He went out to LA to study guitar, and we were still best pals at that time. And we offered him a position in the band. So in 2009, that's when Sarge joined the band. So that's kind of when we say we started,
Yeah, officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
So I don't know. We're really dumb, or I don't know, but we just never stopped. We played that show at the middle school, and we just never stopped.
It's just meant to be.
I guess.
I mean, how many bands? There's not a lot of bands that can pretty much be the same original members that many years.
Yeah, that's something I think about a lot. We're so blessed. I think something that we try to do, we've grown up together, so we're brothers, we're best friends, and we care about each other so much that it's not an option to get in a huge fight and people leave or get angry. Like, we don't let that happen. We really try to make things, work for everyone. And it's been different stages of life, in our 20s, we were on the road nonstop, had no responsibilities. Now we have families and all this stuff. So it's just navigating those with your best friends makes it a lot easier. And I think there's a lot of grace and understanding between the four of us. So we're very, very blessed by that.
Yeah. Well, now that everybody's married, how has that dynamic changed?
Yeah, so the marriage thing was one thing, but now 3 of us have kids,
Right.
So
that's another level.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother level. Honestly, we have a great system of support. We just do things a little bit different now, we still tour a lot and stuff. We just do it differently. Back 5-6 years ago, we'd go out for 2 months at a time nonstop. Now we go out for a week or 10 days, and then we come home for a while. And, that seems to be a pretty good system for us, and just trying to make everything work because we have the full support of our family, which is huge and rare and amazing. But we want to honor our family too, because that's where our ministry starts. Right. So,
right.
We just kind of navigate those waters. We've had fill-in people in the past if we need to. We don't like to do that because, it's been the 4 of us for so long, but we're trying to create this environment that we invite the families in, you know what I mean? Like they're part of this too. So it's been a wild ride. It's been fun. I've honestly enjoyed being in a band more than ever now that I've had a kid, if that makes sense. I think having a kid it's really changed my thought process in so many ways. The things I thought that were important, I would get sick to my stomach over certain band things that in the end, they don't matter at all. 1, because we're doing it for Christ alone. And 2, I have a daughter, and if the band is stripped away from me someday, I'm also a father. My identity is not totally wrapped up in the band. And that's something I've struggled with for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably your writing's changed since you've had kids too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's hard not to write super sappy songs all the time, but man, I don't know how you parents do it. My heart's ripped out of my chest every day, man. I cry just looking at her sometimes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Completely changes your worldview, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's been It's been a blast. Cheer Nice little girls love the guys, and they love going to concerts, and they love, they got their big headphones, and so that's really special seeing them out there. And when we're in the car, my daughter always says, "Daddy, Daddy," and points to my phone, and she wants to hear the protest nonstop, which kind of stinks for me, I want to listen to my own music all day long. And she doesn't believe me when I play older stuff. It pretty much has to be like Death Stare or our last two singles, because I try to convince her that if I play something off of Legacy or Game Changer or Great Lengths, I try to say, hey, this is Dad. This is also Dad. And she says, nope, it's not. So it's pretty much just Take It Back. That's it. That's all she likes. So she's a pretty harsh critic.
I was gonna say she sounds like a bunch of fans. Whatever music they entered in on, that's what they're stuck on. They ain't gonna, they're gonna go, not gonna go back. They
100%. I feel like we need to have a listening party with just our kids and make sure they like the songs first, I guess,
You might have come up with something right there.
Absolutely.
No, Daddy, no.
Right. Yeah. That's probably what it would be. So, if we did that, all of our songs would have a slight Elmo tinge to them. So, that could be cool.
Gang vocals with Tickle Me Elmo.
Right. And I will say, Cookie Monster, he can growl.
This is true.
He's a good screamer.
Better get something going quick before somebody else takes that idea.
I know, right?
Let's talk a little bit about the changeover from being on a label into being independent.
Sure.
The challenges that came with that.
Yeah. I always start by saying this. I adore Rockfest Records. I adore that their whole team. They're some of the best people out there. They did so much for us. I just think we thought it was time to try to strike out on our own a little bit. And you're right. It comes with some challenges. They worked so hard for us. A lot of the things that people don't see behind the scenes, whether it's publishing stuff, all the royalties getting sorted out, all of that stuff. I mean, they helped run our social media, all this. And, they work so hard at that, and they're so good at that. So learning how to do that has been a challenge, but it's been a fun challenge. Like, I like to work, and it's been really fun. I've got some good friends that have helped us out and given us some pointers, and it's been really good. It's been fun.
Yeah. Do you find yourself more invested now that you're doing the work?
Yeah, probably. And it gives me great respect for label teams, because they did so much and they do a lot for bands, and they were amazing to us. So, taking the reins and doing all that stuff has been a fun challenge for me because I like to do that kind of stuff. Now, I've had a lot of help. A good buddy of mine that you might know named Trevor has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
He calls me Dad because, he's about 10 years younger than me and knows so much more than me about being cool, so I'm just trying to do that.
He got the cool from me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, we're talking about Trevor Tyson. I took him to his first concerts here in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Yep. He has said that. He has said that, which I think is amazing.
Trevor's a cool guy, and he's got a lot of great input to help artists.
What was the thinking behind going with Indiegogo for this new album?
Yeah. So we wanted to do it right. We have found our guy. There's so many good producers out there, so many good engineers, but a gentleman named Mitch Marlowe, we first heard of him because we fell in love with that Righteous Vendetta record, Cursed. We fell in love with that record. I thought it was one of the best sounding records I've ever heard. So we did a deep dive into other stuff he's done and loved that. So we started working with him on Death Stare, and he's done our last two singles, and we just love him. He's a great, humble guy, has lots of good ideas, but lets us do our thing. And I guess when we were doing this, we wanted to do it right. And I guess as an independent band, the funds aren't always there to do it how you want to do it. So we decided to go with Indiegogo to see what we could come up with to help with that process. And we're blown away. Seriously, it's unbelievable. I didn't know what to expect, but we're blown away. It's going to cover everything and then some. So we're super, super excited about it.
Nice. That was my next question. How did the Indiegogo go?
It went super well. I'm not going to lie. I get all of the email notifications. So every day I'm watching it like a hawk. I mean, like first thing I do when I get out of bed, I should be talking to Jesus, but I'm tempted to look at my phone and see what happened over the night. But really, in short, we were just blown away. It exceeded all of our expectations. When it got close, we were about a little under halfway, and I was like, you know what, that's great. We're blessed by that. But then the last 2 days, there was just a massive influx, and we're not only excited about those funds being used to make what I think is going to be our best record ever with the stuff that we've been writing. We're also really pumped to share these perks with people. We had a blast creating these perks, and we're really excited to share them with everybody.
Nice. So you feel like you kind of can breathe now?
Yes.
You've got a little bit of money behind you that you don't have to be sweating up front.
Yes. It's, the Lord always works it out. If we didn't raise 1 cent, we would have figured it out somehow. God does that, but it's by his grace and his generosity through his people that this record is going to be really special, because now we can do what we want with it. We don't have to cut corners, and we can do our best stuff. And all the things that we've been writing the last year or two, I cannot wait. Like, we have a lot of great ideas, a lot of cool songs in the works. I'm so pumped.
Cool. I'm excited. So what are the next steps?
Yeah. So next steps, when you're writing as a band, we have 4 different minds, right? Writing songs. And we have this huge Dropbox where we put all of our ideas. Some of these ideas are a little bit more fleshed out. Some are almost full songs. Some are songs we've written with people. Some are just voice memos of me driving, singing a melody on the road or whatever. So our next step, we actually just met about this a few hours ago. We're going to go through all these songs and start kind of trimming them out and picking, these songs that we're super stoked on, ones we want to continue to see through, what we can add to and stuff like that. Because, we have songs that we wrote with Josiah, for example, that we haven't used yet,
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot. So the next step is picking those out. So TJ, he's married now. He lives in Richmond. So we are a little bit further apart than usual. So our goal is to get 2 songs at a time, send everything back and forth, get them as fleshed out as we can, meet up, lay down the scratch tracks, and then go down to the studio and do it that way. We used to go down in the studio and, okay, 4 weeks, we're going to live in Knoxville or Nashville or whatever. We're going to live there and knock this record out in 4 weeks. We don't have the time to do that anymore. So we're going to kind of tackle it sort of like we have been, getting a couple songs done on each trip. And we have a couple songs that are done already. They just need mastered. So that's kind of the next step. Timeline, it's kind of hard to say, but I know that our winter is extremely light for that reason. I wish I could say like, oh yeah, spring for sure, but you know how that goes, you know.
The best laid plan.
Spring, but yeah, it'll be summer or something probably. But I will see. I have no idea, but we want to be good stewards of the gifts that we're given, and we also know that people are looking for their perks, and we want we don't want people to have to wait forever to get those. So we're gonna start hitting it hard.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what can we expect musically from this album?
Sure. So I think we all agreed that Take It Back was like probably the most protest song we've ever written.
I agree.
Yeah. We had so much fun doing that song, because sometimes in the studio there's this low level of like tension and angst, because everybody wants something really good to come out, and you want everyone to be able to contribute. But this one was a blast. Like, everyone had incredible ideas. Everything we tried was awesome. It was just one of those lightning striking things. We were so pumped about it. We had a blast. It was the most fun we ever had. So we just thought, hey, let's keep doing that. The Protest is a band that we're definitely getting heavier, but I don't think anyone would ever call us, metalcore or metal. I don't know what we are, but we like heavy rock and roll. we'll definitely see probably a lot more screams, but a lot of grooves, kind of like Take It Back. We've been listening to a lot of Beartooth and stuff lately, so just that kind of energy,
Okay.
So yeah, but we have a couple ballads in the works too that are gut wrenchers, man. So we'll see.
Okay, all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little more about Take It Back. Maybe the story behind the song?
Yeah, sure. I don't have to tell you that the world we live in is insane.
Yes.
So the idea behind this song, our band, The Protest, it's so aggressive, but our take is we protest by showing love and showing grace, this song just kind of talks about that. We are outcasts, people who follow Christ now more than ever. We are outcasts. It's not cool to be a Christian now. In fact, you're a bigot if you are in a lot of cases. It's not popular. So we sort of view it as this underdog rising of just real people who are willing to get in the trenches and just tell the world that, hey, we don't want it. You can take your world back, because we're set. And that's kind of the thought behind it. We were like, how can we be super aggressive without being violent? And that's kind of the thought, like we're going to be so different and so Christ-like that's how we're going to fight this crazy world right now, is by being different and following him. So the bridge talks about how our Savior took 39 lashes, and I think that bridge was a big step for us. We've always been, let's write our music to where it makes sense so it can reach everybody. And I think that's a very good approach. I think it's awesome. But sometimes you just like the name of Jesus is so powerful. I think we were just getting tired of having to restrain that, The word of God doesn't come back void. We believe that wholeheartedly. So even our worst show ever where we mess up every song, the tracks mess up, whatever, if the gospel is spoken, then it's a good show, right?
Right.
So so that's kind of the thought process behind that.
Okay. Tell us about the video, because I really liked that video.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, I think for us, and honestly, it's probably my favorite video too. It's just like, there's no story to it. It's just, we are a rock band, and we just wanted to throw down in a sick looking video. We had Joel Burris do this one, and it's kind of cool because our video for Dying Breath is awesome and was a ton of fun to make. And Jake and Adrian are incredible. And that one's really clean and kind of futuristic, And then this one is like real sweaty. And we wanted to catch that live feel because we believe we're at our best live.
You do put on a great live show, that's for sure.
Yeah. A lot of our videos, we haven't been able to capture that live. So we wanted to get the whole sweat and the snarling faces because that's what we do up there, And it was really important for us. You might see two other guys in the video that aren't in the band, but those are our crew members, Luke and Jake. And it was really important for us to have them in there because they're such a big part of what we do now. Seriously, we're so spoiled. Like, they come out with us. They could be out with any band in the world and crush it. Bands that could, pay them more and all this stuff. But they just, they have a heart for Jesus. They love us and they love what we do. And they've come alongside us and just helped kind of take our sound and stage show to the next level. So we're super, super humbled by that. It's taken a lot of pressure off of us where we can go out there and focus on the show and focus on the ministry and talking with fans and stuff like that. So it's been really, really cool.
Okay. Anything else you want to share? Merch, upcoming dates?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a lot of really cool dates coming up. We're getting a lot of dates for 2025 already, but this fall we're heading back out with Spoken for some dates. I'm going to post those soon. But we're going to end up having probably like 6 to 8 dates with Spoken this fall, October and November, which we're really pumped about. In the spring, we're planning a little run with some really good friends. I will keep that a surprise now, but we're going to take some bands out with us that are kind of like our little brothers, and they're going to be amazing. They're both up and coming bands, and we're really, really excited to take them out. So that'll be spring, and hopefully in that chunk of winter when everyone's hibernating, that's when we're going to finish the record. So we'll see. I wish I had like a perfect timeline, but I don't. Uh, so so we'll see. But we do have a lot of new merchandise. We're excited to share that.
And they can get that at the upcoming shows, like the spoken ones and everything, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah. We'll have it until we don't. We really keep our shirts different. Like I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, because some people are really disappointed that we've already moved on from our shirt design. If it does really, really well, we usually reorder. If it doesn't do well, then we'll just kind of try a new design and see if that sticks. So, having a graphic artist in the band is huge for us. It's pretty big.
you always have good shirts. I like that. And I like the
know.
idea
Well,
of that pressure of, oh my gosh, they won't have this anymore. I got to hurry up and get it.
Yeah, that is big pressure. I can't decide if that's a good or bad thing yet, but I think it's kind of cool keeping it interesting,
Yeah, I think it's a good strat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Jared, he's the man.
Yeah.
We just trust him. We throw so much at him, and he crushes it every time. Sarge has a lot of great shirt ideas. I usually just say, make something cool, man.
Yeah. Well, what else is going on with everybody else in the band?
Yeah, we're all doing good. Just, we're all married. We're all working. And when we're not working, we're writing music and playing shows. So, we're very blessed. We live pretty close to each other. TJ moved away a little bit with his new family, but he's still pretty close. So we still see each other all the time, which is a huge blessing, because a lot of bands are from different parts of the country, and even before we're a band, we're best friends. We love to just hang out, have hangout nights where we don't talk about band stuff at all. We just have fun, like for Sarge's birthday, his amazing wife set up a Goonies style scavenger hunt. And, here we were, 30 something a year old men riding our bikes all over the countryside, jamming out.
What a cool idea.
Finding clues. It was so much fun. So, it's that kind of stuff. Maybe it's being in a band that's kept us, young like that. But it's important for us to see each other, and spend time with each other, because we just love each other. And I think that's why the band has stayed the same members the whole time. We just love each other so much.
I think we actually have enough time for a couple of stories if you got anything on your mind.
This is super cool. So we were playing a show in Indianapolis, opening up for a band. They're called 10 Years. We were opening for them, and TJ had a prior engagement with his fiance at the time. So we had Josiah come up and play with us. He absolutely crushed it. But what was really, really cool was this gentleman drove from Ohio to see 10 Years. We go out there, and he had seen Disciple years ago. And when he saw Disciple, Josie threw him a pick, and he caught it. So he went to the show, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's that guy from Disciple. And I guess he'd been really searching and seeking, he's been depressed and has just really struggled. And he was seeking Christ and didn't really know how to go about it. He was actually like looking for a sign, And that night there was hundreds of people there. Josie threw a pick, and it landed right in front of him. And that to him was a sign that he was supposed to be there. Him following Christ is the right thing to do. He posted a big video about it. And it's just so cool, because originally when TJ couldn't play, we were super, super bummed. We don't want anyone to miss, but Josie was there for a reason that night. The same thing happened to this kid 10 years later. And it helped lead him to Christ, which was so cool. After the show, Jared and I got to hear his story and pray with him. And it's that kind of stuff that keeps us going. People in ministry don't always get to see the fruits of their labor, and we don't need to, it's all God anyways. We can't take any credit for that. So if we didn't see one thing happen from what we do, we're not owed anything. But what's so amazing is the Lord gives us these nuggets all the time, whether it's an email or a Facebook message or someone, a stranger at a concert that says, hey, this song or what you said this night, or you coming to talk to my son or whatever, made a huge difference, and I think that really, really strikes a chord with us, because, we're called to be Christ-like all the time, everywhere. And you never know who you're going to come in contact with and who you're going to meet. And, I think that's why it's important that you always show Christ through your actions and through your attitude. Because there are people that have said, hey, when you said this or you came and talked to me about this, it really changed my life, and I may not even remember that. So it's really important that we always show Christ. We are literally just seed planters. If the protest stopped playing music, the rocks would cry out. It wouldn't matter. The Lord doesn't need us at all. He can do it all. We're just blessed. We're privileged to do it. So, 15 years, it's a long time, but if we weren't doing it for him, I don't think we'd be doing it at all, because what's the point, right?
Right.
So,
for sure.
I mean, it's not like we're making tons of money. So,
yeah, it kills me when you hear these people that say they just going out as a Christian band so they can make money. And, and I'm like, you show me one single Christian band that makes money.
Please.
I would like to see that.
Yeah. Just hang out with us for a couple days. You will understand very quickly that we are not rock stars, not even close.
That is why you need your many fans and the mothership.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, seriously. I mean, we're so thankful for you and just,
fans in general, man.
Yeah. No, that's what does it. That is what does it. Like this record, would be a lot harder to make if it wasn't for the fans, the friends, the family that love us. And it's real. I mean, that's why it's so hard to get out of a show at a decent hour for us, because we love everyone so much. It's like seeing family out there. So it's like, sometimes the people at the venue are like waiting for us to like, okay, quit talking. I need to shut this place down, so that's a very good problem to have. And I say it all the time. I think every band in our industry can say the same thing. Christ, of course, he fuels us, but it's you guys. That's huge for us. I mean, we would not be doing anything without your love and support.
You heard him. Take it to heart, folks.
You yourself, such a champion for what we do and such a good friend. And we're very, very humbled by that. So thank you.
You're very welcome. It's just a little something to thank you for how you've poured into our life.
And I think that's exactly how it should be. I view us all as co-laborers. We're all doing this thing together. Your ministry reaches people in a different way than ours does. And this band reaches people in a different way than we can. And that's what makes it so special. And I will say this till my face turns blue. If you like hard rock, if you like metal, if you like rock at all, I'm telling you, some of the best rock bands in the planet are in our genre. I mean, seriously, like I say it all the time, but I like Disciple. They're one of the best rock bands, period. I mean, period. Like I would stack them up to any modern rock band out there, stage show, music, whatever. I think they'd blow them away. I think that goes down the line. There's a lot of young bands coming up that I'm super stoked on. And it's really, really cool to see that it's continuing. So yeah, it's been lots of fun.
I guess we need to finish up now, but I have one more question for you personally. If money and time was no object, what would you do?
Oh man, money and time, no object. That's a weighty question, my friend. Is this band wise or like me personally?
Let's say you personally.
Okay.
I mean, it could be band related though.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of bands I would love to tour with and play with. I don't know. I love to travel. So I would just love to be able to travel all the time with my family and not have to worry about making money.
Just see the world?
Yeah. That's one good thing about being in a band. I've gotten to see a lot of the world by being in a band, which is super cool. So, but yeah, I just love to travel. I think being in a band has kind of awoken that spirit in me. I love to be on the road. Now, granted, I love home, and home is home base. It's where my family is. I love it. It always feels good to be home, but I just get real antsy when I'm home for too long, So that would be something. I'd also love to direct a film or write a book, but I just don't have the time or the talent to do either one. But if I had the time and money, I'd love to direct a film. It'd be lots of fun.
Okay. Well, who knows? It might be something on your horizon.
Who knows?
And let's end it on that note. See you soon.
Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I'll see you this weekend.
Bye.
All right. Love you. See you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more great music and check out my blog page on the Solid Rock Radio website for my guests' social media links. If you've missed any of my past interviews, you can find them uploaded to podcast.solidrockradio.org. Have a wonderful week and let's be kind to one another.